This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
Well, I'm looking at my invisible clock here. We're just days away from ringing in the new year. Some of you may plan to get to the store, maybe to get one of your favorite drinks, maybe a bottle of wine or champagne to celebrate.
So News 6 Insider Crystal Moyer is helping you save some money, sharing reviews for wine that doesn't come in a bottle.
That's right. Boxed wine may get a bad rap, but does a glass of bottle really make a difference in taste? Consumer Reports editors had a tough job recently, leaving their labs to pour, swirl, and sip 11 different boxed wines.
I'm not a wine snob.
Wine and spirits shop owner Cindy Coker says there's no need to turn your nose up at boxed wine.
It's delicious, it's convenient, and it has a handle.
Boxed wine can be about half as expensive as wine in a bottle, which makes it a smart choice for parties.
That's Consumer Reports' Angela Lashbrook. She's not a sommelier, but she did just evaluate 11 different boxed wines. CR's testers brushed up on their tasting skills, spoke to industry experts, hosted wine tastings in their homes, and smelled and sipped their way through a variety of wines.
So we looked for how rich and fragrant the wine was before tasting. Then we wrote down any flavors we noticed, as well as how balanced the wine was, how complex it was, brightness and depth. We also took note of the wine's finish.
As with any respectable wine tasting, there were some disagreements.
My personal favorite was actually the one that nobody else liked, which was the Jenny and Francois Chardonnay.
Many tasters found this Chardonnay sharp and almost metallic. However, Angela says if you prefer minerally dry whites, it may be worth a try. More often, the tasters enjoyed the wines and said they would buy them. Among the favorites, this Beaujolais from Wineberry. Its pretty packaging is perfect for a party. Equally favored, this light-bodied Pinot Noir from Black Box, which one reviewer described as tasting fancy. Black Box also earned a best white wine pick with this Sauvignon Blanc. Its notes of grapefruit, tropical fruits, and green apple will appeal to almost any casual wine drinker, making it a great choice for a party.
In addition to costing less than most bottled wines, Consumer Reports says there's another benefit to buying boxed wine. Ladies, listen up. Once opened, they last longer than bottled wines, which means your leftovers won't go to waste after the party is over. But leftover wine, it's not really something we here have to worry about, right, ladies?
I'll leave this for the cooking wine.
There's something about pulling a box of wine out of your refrigerator. I would just hide it in my pantry.
No one's judging you. I won't judge you.
Okay, if it's you.
Yeah.
But I have some other friends who have, made me feel not so great about certain ththings in my house. So I won't be showing them the boxes, Crystal, but they will have no idea.
Just pour it in the back so they can't see.
There you go.
They won't notice the difference.
Yeah, put it in a carafe. You know where you got me? You got me at it has a handle.
I don't know what wine.
If it has a handle,
say no more.
Damn, yes for that.
All right, Crystal, that was fun.
That was good.
That's right, ladies. From the ashes of what most likely the friendship of those newscasters, because they don't seem to get along very much. Not necessarily right. Anyway, it's Scraping the Wall. It's a podcast where we watch the movies and we listen to the things. We talk about them. And, usually they're straight to Disney video sequels. I know what I just said. I'm not going to correct it. It's not this time. We watched Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. Hey, those are voices that you heard in your head. Don't worry. They're not bad voices. They're good voices. I'm Dan. That's Jimmy over there.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. He liked this movie. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. Audrey is here
hello. Too. How do you say hello in Greek?
Oppa.
Aloha.
Everything. That's how you say everything in Greek. It's like I am Groot. Oppa.
Exenu. That's what I remember from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, which is another Greek movie.
I wouldn't call this a Greek movie. I'll call it a movie.
I wouldn't call this a movie.
Set in Greece.
I think I'm with you, Dan.
Greece. That's what we should have watched.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That's a good
I think
one.
Jimmy's trying to test the limits of my sanity with this episode.
I think you're getting defensive already. Listen, just because this is the single best film we've ever reviewed on this podcast, I don't actually mean that. Hi, Dan. Hi, Audrey.
Hi.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hi.
We watched Mamma Mia, and everybody is in really good spirits.
Mm-hmm.
The boxed wine of films.
Oh my God.
It lasts a long time. You get a lot for your money because there's so many songs.
Sure do get a lot. And if that's what you're looking for, songs, then there are songs for you.
Do you want to enjoy
or you just
ABBA
go to
less?
karaoke night.
Yeah.
Just go to karaoke night.
Go to karaoke
Participate.
All I could think about watching it because I've seen it many times by choice, and I've also seen the sequel several times by choice.
It's also a problem.
And I think I realized last night why. And I'll get into it, but
is it because you love musicals, Jimmy?
Well, I am a musical theater major.
Do you like boxed wine?
I like boxed wine. It lasts longer.
This is it. This is the day I quit the show.
I feel like people who say that they love musical theater and that they love this as a piece of musical theater, it's like someone saying that they love literature and reading, and you say like, "What's your favorite book?" And you're like, "Clifford the Big Red Dog."
Yeah, or like in our world, like people say they're huge Disney fans and they've been to Disney World once or something like that.
Or they love the Haunted Mansion because of Tim Burton's Nightmare Before
Exactly.
Christmas.
There you go.
And then I walk away from that conversation and I say, I don't want to talk to you anymore.
That's right.
Oh, by the way, just in case, I'm sorry, Audrey, just in case there's any misunderstanding, because I don't have anything planned. I don't have it. I'm just going to react the way I react. I just want to make it clear that while I watched this movie, I was eating a box of saltine crackers. So if I should ever say something like
for this kind of movie,
for example, this is some cracker ash, I'm referring to the crackers I was eating and what happened afterwards.
And not in any way referring to the film. I see.
How this movie made me feel.
The saltine crackers of movies.
Yes.
It's about
Audrey,
as interesting.
you were going to say.
Yeah, it's got all the flavor of a saltine cracker, and I was annoyed that there was a movie happening around this most beautiful landscape, and I was just like, get these annoying people out of the way so I can look at this ocean and this amazing cliffside. But unfortunately, you have to watch them prance around and through their foibles.
So
you don't have to, but
the
we
realization
did.
Well, we did.
And why did we, Jimmy?
We did because of our friend Sarah, concierge Sarah, who requested specifically this movie, and she's been an avid supporter of our shows.
And we said yes to this because she has how many followers?
She has 12,000 followers on Instagram.
Okay. So if you are listening to this movie and you have 12,000 followers or more and you would like for us to watch Gummo, please let us know.
Okay. And if you're listening to this because Sarah on Instagram told you should, welcome.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, usually we do straight to video Disney sequels, as Dan almost said earlier, because they're garbage. And here's the thing about this. Dan was so adamantly against watching this. The only reason we're doing it is because of Sarah.
Yes.
And so Sarah, just know that, first of all.
I said, and I'm not joking. I recognize that it's funny, but I'm not joking when I said I would rather watch about 12 hours of torture porn.
Okay. We know you're into that.
By that, I don't mean actual pornography. I mean like the movies like Saw and
got it.
Human Centipede.
Human Centipede. Yeah. I would rather watch the entire Human Centipede trilogy.
Yeah, I would draw the line at that.
I would rather watch
Mamma Mia. We have over
12,000
followers and would like us to watch the Human Centipede trilogy.
God.
Please let us know.
But yeah, anyway, so what I want to understand is we have watched movies such as Belle's Magical World. We watched Xanadu. We watched some really crap movies. And this one is where Dan drew the line. And I want to understand why.
Okay.
Wait,
how much
first of all,
before you do that,
before you do that, I'd just like to set the stage for those of you who have been living under a rock. Mamma Mia, promoted as Mamma Mia, the movie, is a 2008 jukebox musical romantic comedy film, in quotes, directed by Philida Lloyd and written by Katherine Johnson. It's based on her book from the 1999 musical of the same name, except for that was just Mamma Mia, not Mamma Mia, the movie.
Wait, the person who wrote the book directed this?
No, wrote.
Oh, wrote it.
Written by Katherine
Right.
Johnson. The film is based on the songs of the pop group ABBA, with additional music composed by ABBA member Benny Andersson. The film features an ensemble cast including Christine Baranski, Pierce Brosnan, Dominic Cooper, better known as Tony Stark for some of us, Colin Firth, Amanda Seyfried, Stellan Skarsgård, Meryl Streep, and Mrs. Weasley herself, Julie Walters.
Unfortunate that they all had to
Here
do this.
is why, real quick, before Dan gets into our understanding of why he was so against this.
Well, hold on, because that thing I was telling you was going to happen is going to happen in less than a minute. So,
that's right. Well, then I'm going to say that I think, Audrey, the reason that I like these movies so much is kind of, you alluded to it a little bit, it's beautiful. The movie is beautiful. The people are beautiful.
Are you aware that the Travel Channel exists?
Well, no, that's fine. I'm not saying I'm watching this in lieu of the Travel Channel. I'm just saying that's why I enjoy the movie so much, because there's so much pretty to look at. Amanda Seyfried is one of the most beautiful people, especially in this movie. Like, more so than Mean Girls, more so than Les Miserables. Just incredibly beautiful to look at. And I'm not trying to objectify, but just rather, they did it on purpose. Pierce Brosnan, they're all beautiful.
The movie is objectifying her.
Oh, sure. And it does not pass the Bechdel test at all.
No. But the Lecteb test, it sure does.
It's like that.
The opposite Bechdel.
But finally, short of Pierce Brosnan, they all sing pretty well. Like, in general.
And Pierce Brosnan tries.
He tried. But, I mean, even... And by the way, I noticed for the first time that one of the guys is gay.
Yeah, they make Colin Firth gay at the end.
They make Colin Firth gay.
Oh, I didn't catch on to that at all.
Yeah, I didn't catch on to it until I watched it last night. But yeah, anyway, that's why.
Because he slept with Meryl Streep's character earlier.
Oh, so. Yeah.
But remember, in the wedding scene, he said he has not been with another woman since. I believe
Meryl
what he said.
turned
And there
him
was,
gay.
By the way, Meryl, I never found her attractive. But yeah, I don't know, just pretty young people doing their thing, and it's fun music, and they sing well, and so I could appreciate the aesthetics of the whole thing.
I mean, they tried to make Amanda more attractive. There's definitely some like facial smoothing that they apply at one point. But I don't think they're not all 10s. They're all good looking and they're pleasing, but
yeah. Or at least interesting looking. Like Christine Baranski's an interesting looking person.
Yes. I'm really glad she's in the movie. She clearly has the most musical theater talent of anybody else in the movie. But
and a lot of the actors do that weird, like, I'm an actor singing thing where it's like the inflection's all weird and off.
It's just,
yeah, you wonder how much of that is direction.
It makes me wonder if this is an example why movie musicals don't work for me.
They really don't work in general.
Like Fiddler in the Roof exists as a movie. You gave me a thumbs down.
I don't like that. But as a musical, it's not, and it's not the most interesting musical on stage. But as a movie, it probably
more so as a movie than on stage, right?
Right. Yeah, I would think
because of the jukebox nature of it all.
But here's why.
And
yes, it's better on a movie because you have more space to make the world, but that still had a huge budget and they still have the space to do like a big musical number, and it ends up looking cheap. Like the whole scene on the yacht where she's like, I can't remember the song, but she's like standing at the prow of the boat and she's got
that was dumb. Like
it
Titanic
looked
stuff.
Terrible. It just looked so cheap, and they have a huge cast. So like maybe I'm getting too far ahead here, but the whole hen do and stag night party dance those were a little bit more exciting because that's when you have like everybody dancing like a musical. And that's
Right.
where I could see it making a little more sense. But there's just too many cases of it not working out for me.
So there's a lot of good musicals that have been made into movies, but can you name any good movie musicals?
You mean that started out as musicals?
Yeah. I'm like, Sweeney Todd's one of my favorite musicals, and they did okay.
Yeah.
It's just,
I'd still rather see it on stage.
Of course. I guess that's the question. Is there any musical that you've seen that was turned into a movie that you would rather watch as a movie?
No.
I've never seen Sweeney Todd on stage, but I was completely enamored with the movie. I thought the movie was amazing.
I think that was probably the closest to me of all the movie musicals I've seen. I think how they interpreted Sweeney Todd was probably the best one I've seen.
Well, it's the twisted imagination of
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton.
That's right.
He's so outside the box. So to answer your question, Jimmy,
yes, please.
There are, like I said before we started recording, there are many layers to this onion, and I'm going to try not to get into the screaming theory at people segment of our program, but it might happen.
Save it for the Patreon page.
Save it for our OnlyFans. I think the biggest problem there's no such thing as a biggest problem there. I don't know if any of you are familiar with a little podcast called Dan Hates the Beatles. I'm Dan. I hate the Beatles. There's a podcast around it. One of the if anyone has listened to it and actually taken in the point of it, other than just, hey, I have this weird friend or podcast friend that doesn't like the Beatles, and who possibly wouldn't like the Beatles. The at the heart of it, of my criticism of that, is that we live in a culture where you're expected to like certain things, and you're expected to enjoy certain things and follow certain cues. And if you don't follow those cues and you don't find these things good or fun or interesting, then there's something wrong with you. And there is an entire industry out there that you kind of like feeds this and capitalizes on this. If you want to know more about this, there's some philosophers that have gone into what they call a culture industry. Feel free to look it up. I may or may not talk about it later. But it's one of those things that once you see it, you can't unsee it. And
give us some more examples besides Mamma Mia.
I think the Beatles are a fantastic example in the sense that every couple months in the supermarket, you still see a People magazine. This is the best picture of George Harrison's butthole, like sort of issue.
Oh, that was the People. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, it's tacky and it's cheap. And I think that the more we have of those kinds of things in the world, or the fact that there's like a million CSIs and like originality is now seen as a novelty.
So this, I believe, carries into our other show in intellectual property and originality and that kind of thing. But, we know that these movie studios are businesses, and you sell what sells.
And I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing that the fact that they are businesses makes us all dumber as a culture.
It's fair to say. And this movie is the large, this, I don't want to insult people, but we're a dumb culture. Like, a person is smart, people are dumb. And people just want to go to the movies and just enjoy and not have to think.
Right. They want slop.
Yeah, exactly. Just, it's the world of color of it all. Just, give it to me,
Well, yeah,
shove it
but
all down my throat because I want to be fed.
The difference there with like World of Color, which is slop, but you can at least see behind it. There's some people going like, okay, we're going to make slop, but we're going to do it in a way that is new and interesting.
Okay.
The format, something about it can change, be new. It's like the difference between feeding the people slop and postmodernism. Feeding the people slop is, turning the ABBA songbook into a musical and tying very thin plot lines together to make it the next song make sense. That's slop. Postmodernism is like Quentin Tarantino.
Okay.
Where it's just like, you've seen this aesthetic, you've seen all of this before. I'm going to put it together in a way that is at least interesting and at least like grabs your imagination in some way so that you can see the connections that I made, other than, I don't know, we need to sing a song about money now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's fair. Now, can you give an example of another movie or movies that you would have the same reaction to if we said we need to watch it for the show?
I don't know that. I'm sure if I like put a day of thought into it, I could. But this is a uniquely damaged thing to me because, the starting point is this cold capitalistic thing. And don't get me wrong, I love capitalism, as you know.
Of course, famous.
This very cold thing that's just like, I think at the heart of it is this feeling. It's like when I'm all over the place and I'm sorry. It's like when I saw at World of Disney at Disneyland, Mickey shaped pasta. That was a point where I was just like, oh, they're just going to make anything and they know that some idiot's going to buy it.
100%.
And it's insulting.
Well, that's why Bob Iger came out and said, we're making more Toy Story and we're making more Frozen, and because it sells and we know it's going to make money.
You know what? And that's whatever. I'm not trying. I know that we live in the thing that we live in, but when I have such a blatant reminder, it's like shoving my head in the toilet and being like, drink it. This is fresh water now. So
we have one more act for you this evening. I don't even need to say his name. Mr. Bob Dylan.
From the director of Walk the Line and Ford vs. Ferrari.
If anyone is going to hold your attention on stage, you have to kind of be a freak.
And starring Timothée Chalamet as Bob Dylan.
Are you a freak? Hope so. Once upon a time, you're just so fine.
Inspired by the true story.
I want to know which side he's on.
This Christmas.
They just want me singing Blowing in the Wind for the rest of my life.
Bobby, what do you want to be?
Whatever it is they don't want me to be.
He defied everyone.
Turn it down!
Play it loud!
To change everything.
He's our Elvis. With no direction.
Timothée Chalamet, Edward Norton, Elle Fanning, Monica Barbaro.
Make some noise, BD. Track some mud on a carpet.
A Complete Unknown. Only in theaters Christmas Day. Rated R. Under 17 and admitted without parent.
Tired of strolling down Main Street, USA all alone? Ready to ditch that single rider line and experience the magic of Disney with someone special? Introducing Single Riders, the dating app that's practically sprinkled with pixie dust. You're an adult. You love Disney. You're unattached. But, hold your horses, there's no need to surrender your mouse ears to loneliness. Single Riders is here to transform your solo fairy tale into a duo adventure. It's the perfect dating app for those enchanted souls who know their Dole Whips from their Mickey pretzels, and wouldn't mind sharing a churro in the sunset glow of Cinderella's castle. Disney parks are places where dreams come true, right? So why not dream of love? Your prince or princess could be just a swipe away on the Peter Pan's flight. In all seriousness, though, Single Riders is the place to find your happily ever after. It's more than just an app. It's a community of like-minded Disney lovers searching for their own Disney romance. So, swap your park maps for heart maps, and let your next ride be towards love. Because at Single Riders, we believe that everyone deserves their own magic moment. Single Riders. Find your happily ever after. Because love should never be the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Just 1 calorie. Tap Cola. What a beautiful drink. Tap Cola. For beautiful people. Tap Cola. It's beautiful to be so good and sugar free.
So I guess first offense is very lazily putting ABBA songs in this format simply because people love ABBA. And they don't know why they yeah.
You think people love ABBA so much that it drove a musical, or somebody just wanted to do a musical? And
No. Here's the deal. Hold on. Let's take a pause.
I think ABBA is pretty well loved, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we all know their songs. I suppose they're part of the zeitgeist. Yeah.
So ABBA was a plucky young ABBA. It was a plucky young band from Sweden. So
I
just
know
like
how
the
to
Swedish
say
chef, they all have real hands.
Swedish.
Do it.
Ooh.
Grattis på
födelsedagen. Hold on. To the tune of Love Shack.
There you go. That's a B-52s, is that right?
Yeah.
They're a
all right, anyway.
Athens, Georgia band.
Ooh. So they were a plucky young band, and they were making these weird little folk songs in Sweden. And they got a little bit of local success, but they were like, they're listening to American pop music, and they're like, hey, what if we try our hand at American pop music? No one in Sweden's doing it. There's some people in England doing it, but we want to do our own version of American pop music. So they come up with, they get in the studio together, and they come up with all these ridiculous songs. And eventually they say, hey, what if we have these two ladies sing together? Not those ladies you're hearing now. That's some karaoke, session musicians. And what if we have this lush arrangement with strings and take this all very seriously and make it sound like my words, not theirs. All of our songs feel to your ear the way it feels when you walk into a room and the air conditioning is turned up a little bit too much. And that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
And it just so happens at the same time, disco comes around. They're like, what if we do the disco? But, in that weird Swedish accent that they all have. And then they release disco just like that. That's a clip from the documentary ABBA Gold. And then they released Dancing Queen, and they're like, this is going to be a hit. And it was a huge hit. And then they released a bunch of other stuff. And then, but they were kind of under the radar for a lot of people. But then a big thing happened. They released in the 80s, after their career, took a giant turd, they released ABBA Gold, a collection of all their songs. And guess what? The 80s was a pile of trash. And everyone was like, hey, I remember these things. And they all bought it. And ABBA was like, hey, what if we take these hit songs and we turn them into a musical? You know that guy who did Chess? We know him. And we're going to team up with him, and we're going to make this.
That's a good musical, by the way.
I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. So, yes, they were like,
Bangkok, Orient.
This was a big deal. And so what if we cash in? What if we make a musical about whatever? It doesn't matter what it's about.
That does sound like the pitch meeting.
That is exactly the pitch meeting. We're just going to make a musical about whatever. In fact, ABBA tried, according to a documentary I watched in order to gain ammunition on ABBA, they were saying that they tried to graft some of their songs onto Chess, but it just wouldn't work. So they said, what if we find a series of songs that we can then go in and shoehorn some plot into? What if we do that? Jukebox musicals have existed for a long time, so showcases. So let's do that.
I hate jukebox musicals.
I do too, but I'm willing to accept that they exist. So at this point, this is all about why Dan is broken, by the way. At this point,
it's a new segment.
At this point, it can't be. At this point, we're at a place where, okay, we have Here's Slop, and it's Mamma Mia, the stage musical. And if that is the only thing that exists, I'm willing to say, okay, fine, because there's an audience for it, and I don't have to, it's like, whatever. I don't care. Because I can accept that layer of cynicism. Like that one layer of cynicism, I can accept that and go like, okay, sure, it's there to be made. And if you want to like have it be a Vegas stage show, totally makes sense.
Makes sense.
Have all the drunk wine moms, according to our previous thing. Yeah, box wine moms. That totally makes sense. They can go. It's fun. Great. That's fine. High School Musical. Perfect setting for this kind of a thing. All the wine moms can go watch their kids sing the songs they love so much.
Shouldn't wine moms want a little bit better? Like, they're trying to sell book. Like,
should they? Yes, but do they? No.
They're married to a parrot head. So nobody is expecting.
None of the characters are real. They're all just ridiculous caricatures. They're not like in any shape or form palatable.
No, they're not. So then you take this thing that is cynical as hell, and then you say, hey, let's make a movie out of it. And we're going to cast America's Sweetheart and James Bond, and we're going to put it in this place that's really beautiful. And it's this thing that is made for you to like and to watch because it's fun.
That's right.
And I don't like that. It's stupid. There's no other reason to watch this other than just like, let's go watch our friends have fun on the screen. There's nothing there. It's just slop. It is just pure slop.
Yep. I think you've made your point. And it's very, I think that's distinctly what it is and why you don't like it.
Yes.
It
is not just, I mean, like, I can accept that the machine is going to produce a thing occasionally that has clearly come out of the machine. This is like the byproduct of like this is like the bad sludgy oil of the machine rather than the thing
like
that
the
you
Impossible
usually
burger.
accept. Or if this is pink sludge before it's cooked.
Right. Before it becomes chicken McNuggets.
Right. Other stuff, those are chicken McNuggets. This is pink sludge.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. I think the phrase you said was, this was made for you to like it. And not in that every movie's made for you to like it, but this is more like the whole machine of it all. And like some of the pop music is, of course you like it. It's made to be enjoyed.
Here, look, eat it. Here comes the airplane.
Airplane.
Eat it.
Going in your
Eat
mouth.
the slop, stupid. Why don't you like it? This is your favorite. This is your favorite. Your favorite actress. Your favorite place.
That's
right.
Why
are you leaving? Go get some Coca-Cola. Come back. Then you'll be happy.
So Dan, thank you for that. Audrey, do you have anything else to add? By the way, sorry, Sarah has officially stopped.
Or maybe she's listening to the entirety of Dan Hates the Beatles. She's like, this guy's onto something.
This guy's got a point.
I never saw it that way.
I think they all embarrassed themselves by being in this movie.
Yeah, because originally Dan was going to say from the ashes of our... of Meryl Streep and
our dignity.
Dignity. Yes. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So what did you think it was going to be about, Dan?
I honestly thought that it was going to be far worse.
You did?
As a movie.
Okay.
As a movie. And I want to put another disclaimer. I did not like this movie. I hated it. I
think after you watched it, you texted, I hate that this movie exists.
Yes. I yelled at this movie. And like more than it was actual anger, not just like it was like like
to the point where your housemates were concerned about you.
It could have. No, I was in the car. I was driving, and then I realized.
Wait a minute!
Bad idea.
You can't watch a movie while you're driving.
You can when you're in traffic.
Oh, that's fair.
And I had
listener, please do not watch movies while you're driving.
No.
Or while drinking boxed wine.
Well, I think only watch this movie while you're drinking boxed wine.
Don't drive anyway.
Yeah. But if you are going to watch this movie, have boxed wine.
The people who made this movie, I think, knew that it was slop and that it probably shouldn't have been made. And they minimized damage at every step. And I appreciate them for that. Aside from the fakeness of some of the scenes.
Sure. It was popular enough to warrant a sequel.
Yeah.
Which was a prequel, if you will. So I mentioned while watching it, all I could think about was the prequel because I know how all these things happen that just are alluded to. It's kind of like the Rogue One.
Oh my God. So Mamma Mia 2 is better.
I'd be more interested in watching Rogue One.
I think it is, yes, because the lead character, she's phenomenal, Lily James.
I don't think I'm going to go out and watch it, but good to know.
Recommend it. But if you're really dying to know about the torrid love affair that she had with these three men, that's what the movie's about.
I'm not. I don't think I am. Did they use ABBA songs again?
Yep.
Wow. Look at that. Good job.
It's a sequel in every sense of the word, except that it's a prequel.
Oh, okay.
Meryl Streep has died, and what's her name? Amanda Seyfried is now running the hotel, and her not husband, because they didn't get married.
What?
He's off like being successful in business, and they have an estrangement, and she's like discovering her mom, and there's flashbacks of her mom meeting these three guys, and
so it is like Saw. There's flashbacks.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
So,
Audrey, what did you think this movie was going to be?
Yeah.
I had no idea. I think I knew that it was a musical where at the end of the musical, everybody stands up out of their seats, not because they're giving a standing ovation, but because the characters make them do that. And then they bill it as like, you'll be out of your seat. And it's like, but were you compelled to do that? Or were you naturally just like, this is so good, I have to give it a standing ovation?
You know that there are people, I know for a fact, there are people who watch this in the theater and did in fact dance, stand up, dance around, because, it's their childhood. And I could understand it. It is infectious a little bit.
Yeah, the music is fun.
So is COVID.
Yes, that's true. Anyway, so do you guys want to hear what it actually was about?
Let's do it.
Let's
get into
that's
it.
the show.
I'm going to explain some context for these songs in case you didn't understand what was happening. 20-year-old Sophie Sheridan.
Then, I'm sorry. Are you then going to explain to us why a character who says in the song that smoking is his only vice, he only smokes like that one time?
It reminds me a lot of there's a musical, Billy Joel jukebox musical called Moving Out. And the first line of that song, and the only time the name is mentioned.
Hold on. Let me guess he's moving out of the house.
Well, his name is Anthony, works in a grocery store. The main character, Anthony. I bet he works in a grocery store in that musical. I don't know. All right, so 20-year-old Sophie Sheridan, Amanda Seyfried, lives with her mother, Donna, who's Meryl Streep, on a small Greek island of Kolakari, which is a fictional island, where Donna runs a hotel called Villa Donna or Via Donna, depending on if Asher's going to say it or not. Sophie's planning to marry her fiance, Sky, who's Dominic Cooper, and
so
wants
much
her
chemistry.
father. Oh my God!
Oh,
right?
so much.
It's the worst.
So much.
They're just pretty. They're both pretty.
Yeah. And that means they love each other.
She's pretty. He's pretty. They must love each other.
Because remember, if you kiss a certain number of times.
That's right. You're in love. Sophie's planning to marry her fiance, Sky, Dominic Cooper, and wants her father to be present to give her away. None of this is explained in the movie.
Hold on. We can save ourselves an entire movie here by just, hey, Mom. Yes, daughter. Can we talk? Sure, anytime. We have a
This is a Summer's Eve commercial
relationship where we can talk about anything because we're very open with each other.
That's
we
right.
have a very good relationship. Hey, so I'm just wondering, do you know who my dad is? Well, daughter, I have some ideas, but frankly, it's never really mattered to me. Okay, Mom, I understand that, but it kind of matters to me. If you wouldn't mind, do you mind if I kind of like look into this and maybe communicate with these people who you think it might be? Sure, daughter. I have no interest in finding out myself, but since this person is your dad, then you would be very reasonable for me to, give you some ideas and maybe some contact information if I have. But I'd really rather not know. So, it's between you and him. whoever that person is, because I love you very much, daughter, and I want the best for you.
And
Thank
that
you, mother.
is the
and then the movie never has to happen.
Of what this movie is.
Yes.
So she wants her father to give her away, but she doesn't know who he is. So after reading Donna's diary from 20 years ago, which, by the way, you get to see her writing in
Wait,
the sequel.
hold on. What song do we start with?
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
All of this is context leading up to the very first thing that happens in the movie.
Because I have the big ones. The big hit songs.
She concludes he is
some version.
After reading the thing from 20, she concludes that one of the three men, Sam Carmichael, who's Pierce Brosnan, Harry Bright, Colin Firth, and Bill Anderson, Stellan Skarsgård, without telling her mother and fiance, Sophie mails invitations to all three while she sings I Have a Dream.
I don't have that one. I have Honey Honey.
Okay. I have the big ones.
I don't know what the big ones are. Honey Honey seems like a song that look, I looked at track listing and I started downloading these things. I mean buying them. Wait, no. Who produced this, Paramount or somebody? If you are ABBA
Universal.
or Universal or anyone working from the machine that we love very much, by the way, these are all songs from YouTube from people mostly doing karaoke. So don't sue us. Sue them.
So she's sending these letters because she hopes to find out which is her father. Sophie tells her two best friends, and I will give you $1,000 if you can name either one of their names.
Taller one,
Exactly.
less tall one.
And
there you go.
40-year-old and 48-year-old.
Yes. Remember,
20-year-olds.
Everyone has to find their matching shape.
Much older than
Yes.
20.
They do indeed. Allie and Lisa are their names.
Mm-hmm.
Tells them about her potential fathers, and they sing "Honey, Honey."
What? Something fun.
They're ending the night with something fun. Okay. This is the karaoke host, by the way, ending with something fun.
Nah, she's so good you need two honeys.
Oh, clever.
Now the reason I found karaoke is this movie may as well just be karaoke.
That is true.
Pretty much.
May as well just be, I'm going to watch all my Hollywood friends have fun for me on the screen and sing songs.
I don't love how screechy all of them are when they talk to each other. Like, I don't know. I've never screamed at the top of my lungs. They all act like 4-year-olds. Everybody in the movie is acting like a child version of an adult. And just like their actions, their thoughts, their decision making. It's all so.
Here we go. There are no stakes. So here's the thing one of the devices I don't like with musicals. It's suspending disbelief where the emotion has gotten to a point where you have to sing, right? That's the whole idea behind a musical. And so speaking into a song, I appreciate. Mary Poppins did it. You know, it's a lot of songs that it starts as dialogue with music underneath and it becomes music. I don't like the opposite when like they emphasize a word and don't sing it. And that happens a couple of times in this.
It's clunky.
It is. Yeah. If you're going to sing. But if it's heightened emotion, when you start saying words, now all of a sudden your emotions aren't as heightened, but you're trying to make that the most important word.
It's like a film actor trying to do a musical theater thing. And they're
100%,
so different. And I don't think they translate that well.
I think at the heart of this is the problem that we have a series of songs that we have to get to. And that means that we have to come up with dialogue that justifies getting to this song.
Right.
And it ends up being like watching like level 2 improv where like it's a lot of say don't show where it's just like, well, you know, Mom, you've been working on this resort for how many years now? Thanks for that, daughter. I worked on this for X amount of time, and all because of this thing that we could like show instead of say, like, main character, Sophia, what does she want other than to find out who her father is?
That's it.
That's all she wants.
That's not a character. That's not a person.
Right.
That's
None of them
plot
are.
device. None of them are people.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think you nailed it. They just had a bunch of songs they needed to get through, and they just tried to figure out how to get there. And
all right, well, thanks for listening.
All three men come to the island thinking that Donna, who they all had sex with within a 9-month period of each other, or maybe weeks, through a series of events expositing who they are as grown adults, they all make it to the island thinking that Donna asked them to come because, 20 years later, they all think that it was so life altering. The experiences for all three of them was so life altering that they thought, oh, I've been thinking about this for 20 years. She must be too. I want to go see her. And
no. I think you have it wrong. I think what it is because they know that Sophia is the main character in the movie that she's in, that they're in. They have to also not think that this is insane. And because she is the main character in the movie, it makes perfect sense for her to ask these three strangers to come to travel from who knows where to upend their lives for like a week, just so that she can, say it's this move. Oh, I hate.
Yeah.
All right. So first two things.
Crackers.
Her name is Sophie.
Worse.
And the other thing, we're pointing out plot holes. You shouldn't think about this movie. That's the whole point.
And that's why it should be a Bollywood musical. That's
go.
why this should have been made like a Bollywood musical. Because that would have been fun.
Sure.
That would have been actually fun. Not, hey, let's watch mom, collapse in the aisle because that's the only way she can have fun anymore.
But they correspond. So 20 years ago, they all three have sex with this woman, and presumably they have not communicated since, because I think they even say that. How does she have their current address?
Great
in
question.
So
because
good.
The movie needs her to.
Yeah, I get it. Don't think about this movie.
And again, that's why a Bollywood thing would work, because Bollywood immediately is embracing the artifice of it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm going to break out into a song that sounds nothing like my voice now. And you could have had, James Bond lip syncing to like two ladies harmonizing at the same time, which why not? They end up going with the original track anyway, like halfway through every single fucking song.
Yeah. So Sophie hides these three men upstairs in the old goat house,
where they all act like
them
the dopiest men. Like, imagine the dopiest dad in a commercial. Now dumb it down about 100%, and then
that's right.
That's what you get. Just like,
but again,
stand around
I
here, I guess, and not think. Like, you're asking your audience not to think, and your characters not to think. So we're all just being idiots together, and it's like, I can't not think about this. I paid money for it.
In fairness to the performances, because again, this movie as a movie isn't offensive, but its existence is to me. That the actors are all really doing their best with like the crumbs that they've been given.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's poor direction, a lot of it, because these are some really good actors. Most of them are really good actors. So I don't know. You put a good actor in front of George Lucas, they don't give you good performances. He's not a good director.
I think that Papa Skarsgård knows the movie, knows what the movie he is in is. And he kind of is the only one that gives it a wink, like, hey, I'm the reckless one.
100%. Yeah, I think he's probably the best of them all.
Yeah, and I think if
he's having fun.
I think if the entire movie had a little bit more of that, it could have been better, but it also could have been a complete mess.
It's one of those things where you're starting to see them. I'm acting instead of their technique being so invisible that you just have a character. You see every single person in this movie is like, I'm acting. The cringiest part to me was that beach scene with Amanda Seyfried and her fiance, like her acting sexually attracted to this guy when there clearly was no chemistry. It was just like, this is, I mean, yes, she's doing her job, but it's like, it's still just so artificial that it turns me off.
Since we're talking about most cringy moments, the moment that I had to stop watching this movie for a day. Was when that actress that you just said, I don't remember her name. I think it's her. She's the one that always plays that one character in every TV show. When in Dancing Queen, they say lights are low and the music's high, and she grabs a tampon and she acts like she's high.
Oh yeah, that's right.
From
it's
it
Christine
and
Baranski.
Crossing her eye. Okay, it's the other one.
Yeah,
but crossing her eyes, and because that's what happens when you're high.
That's what you look like when you're high, Dan.
That moment is the movie. That's
an interesting point.
That moment that's what
that encompasses
right
the
there.
film is
right there.
The tampon joint.
It's supposed to be tongue in cheek, but it just doesn't come off that way, right? It comes off like this is how. I don't know.
So here's some problems with that. Is that if you take the song in context, first of all, they're singing to Meryl Streep. By the way, I love Dancing Queen, the song. One of my favorite songs ever.
Good.
It was a transcendent song for me as a child. That is one of the songs when I discovered what a bridge was. The way that song has the chorus and bridge be the same thing blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And also the recording and the air conditioning turned up too high. Mm-hmm. I love that sound. Anyway, so I have sung Dancing Queen at karaoke.
There you go.
Nice.
Yes. So the context of the song is lost in the movie because it's about a girl going out and there's like some kind of darkness in it, but then there's also this brightness in it where it's like this. She's like a character from a Velvet Underground song where it's like I'm kind of sad and lonely, but I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna love it's about the love of the music and the dancing. It's not about starting dating again. And it's about dance. It is about dance and music. It's not about a relationship. But anyway, that in the music, there's it's not a reference to getting high. It's a reference to the music being high.
Right.
And
the
that
volume,
moment,
not the,
or just
it's just they completely
of it.
misunderstand everything about it.
I just think it's poor direction. I think it's poor direction. I don't think that was Christine Baranski's choice.
I don't think it doesn't matter. That that is to me a sign that this entire thing is so cheap and so slop that they're just like, you know what? Let's just throw that in because who cares?
Nobody, all the wine moms are going to think it's funny.
I heard a rumor that all of the actors were drunk most of the time while filming.
I could see it. That's why they took the gig because they were on a Greek island 100%. Getting wasted.
100%. I think and that's the smart move. If this movie is going to be made, I feel like they were probably like, I don't know why we're making this movie, but vacation in Greece, sure, let's go have fun, party. The cameras will turn on occasionally. We'll say words. We'll lip sync to ABBA.
And I think that the three elder ladies have more fun with it as a result.
Oh yeah, I agree. But
they're more fun to watch because of it.
But again, I'm reminded of like I remember watching movies with my parents and walking away from some of them going, well, that was awful. And then one of them would be like, it looks like they had fun making that movie. I'm like, yeah, but it's still a bad movie.
That was you up there.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in minute 2 of the movie. So Sophie says that she makes them agree to not reveal that she's the one that wrote, that pretended to be her mom. So she's like, don't tell my mom. I actually wrote the thing. She didn't write it. To your point, Audrey.
What she could have done is said, hey, so I haven't known who my father is my entire life. I hope you all understand that this is something that I'm doing. And of course you can talk to my mom about it because we can all communicate here.
I think
Three's Company moment.
You guys probably haven't seen this, but there's this really cute movie starring Amanda Bynes called What a Girl Wants, and it also has Colin Firth in it. I think it's called What a Girl Wants. But it's a similar plot. It's a young teen who has a mom who, like, the mom doesn't, or she doesn't know who her dad is. It turns out her dad is Henry Dashwood, who's like a well-to-do British guy. And it's cute and it's fun. And like the decisions that the characters make in that movie are 1,000 times better than anything that happens in this movie.
But it's not a musical, though.
It's not a musical.
The popular music.
But you know what? It could have been. It could have made a really good musical, and I'm sure they did adapt it into a musical at some point. That's my.
It's so interesting that the mystery dad is always rich.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. All three of these mystery dads are wealthy and good people, and I would have picked Stellan Start. Shoot, I don't know. Too.
Well, he's the one that had a grandmother named Sophia who lived in that part of the country. So she thought maybe she was named after his grandmother, and that was her father. There were a lot of little clues like that where all three of them could have been. Yeah. Through dialogue.
Stellan seems the least uptight of the
he's
three.
The most fun.
He's the cool dad.
Yeah. So other guests have also arrived from the harbor. Donna's longtime friends, single, fun-loving writer Rosie, played by Julie Walters, and rich
Mrs.
three-time
Weasley.
divorcee Tanya. That's right, Mrs. Weasley. Christine Baranski.
Martha Mayhew.
Okay. Take your word for that. While Donna's making repairs to the hotel, which is in disrepair, guys. I mean, shutters falling off, floors cracking. We're all dancing in the inexplicable fountain of water that comes out of the cracked floor. She cannot afford this hotel, so she sings "Money, Money, Money."
Don't have it. I got
There's a trimmer. No, well, not there yet. Okay. There's a trimmer. This is one of those movies that you think at the end they all look at the camera and do jazz hands and say "Mamma Mia."
They should.
Yeah. I mean, they might have too.
Do they do it?
This should be a showcase. I mean, it ends up becoming one anyway.
It's true. All right. So there's a trimmer and the dolphin mosaic in the courtyard floor splits. Donna hunts flooring supplies in the goat house, hears noises upstairs, and peers inside the trapdoor and window. And then this whole like flashback thing where she sees them as their younger selves. They look so dumb. Recognizing the men she had dated, Donna panics but tries to take another peek at them. And what plays? Mamma Mia. More karaoke?
Yes. They get there eventually.
Okay.
This may as well be the movie. Here we go.
Oh. Nice.
And honestly, watching people sing these songs at karaoke is more fun than watching this movie.
Sure.
I believe it.
Well, just under the guise of listening, what's happening while the song is playing? She's singing. She cannot get inside the locked room. Finally, she climbs to the rooftop and then falls through the top trap door opened by a member of the Greek chorus, whom Donna and the other characters apparently cannot see.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I want to have fun with those people.
Yeah, totally.
I don't
drinking box wine. Donna, unable to handle the memories, asks the three men to leave the island, so they simply stay in the harbor on Bill's boat.
Yep.
Seeing the three men has sent Donna into shock. Her two friends, Tanya and Rosie, try to reassure her by singing Chica Tita. Chiquitita.
Chiquitita.
You don't have that one.
Next song I have is Dancing Queen.
Chiquitita. Yeah, I don't understand. That was one of the worst shoehorn songs. I don't get it.
And that's for context. They're all poorly shoehorned. I don't. If you want to,
maybe money makes sense.
It makes sense, but in the sense of like they're like now we're going to talk about money for a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, you know how you need money? Like, oh, if only I could figure out how to get money. And I'm going to sing this song about money where I go to Vegas in the song. And it doesn't make any sense in the context of the story. But that's how the song was written. So whatever.
Audrey made it. Well, like the song, yeah, and worse, so the song is called Money, 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 but it is not about the situation she's in.
Mm-mm.
Like none of the words support her dilemma.
Jimmy, they talk. It's about money, and she needs money.
Audrey made a point earlier. Like, what does she want? What? None of. So the dad. What do the men want? They want to see Donna. That's it. Presumably, her. Like that's what they want.
Yeah. Why? What's keeping them there?
The friends that Baranski wants cock, and the other one.
What's keeping them there is that they are in the movie with the main character who has a want that relates to them. So they want to fulfill her wants because we are all slave to the wants of this character who only has this one thing that they want and nothing else. Oh, by the way, she can kind of draw. We find that out like halfway through.
And the drawing is just like cheap line art that they printed off of the internet.
But it's good because she's the main character. In the world of the movie, it's good.
Also, it's
because
yeah, I don't know. It's trying to sell this like, hey, you'll be happy if you just chase what you want short term. Like, but if you try to do something that will be good for your future, like maybe getting married and finding a stable family, it's like, why don't you go to art school where you're guaranteed to make $1 billion?
Did you ever?
Because you're the main character of the movie.
Did you ever see the movie Not Another Teen Movie?
Me? Yes. No. But I bet it's
I just
hilarious.
watched it again recently. It's so funny.
It's one of the few of those kinds of parody movies eventually turned into trash.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that is like one of the last ones
It's
that
so
was
good.
actually funny.
It's
and by the way,
Good.
this movie I'm glad you mentioned it because I kind of had this thought. This movie it's kind of like if they took one of those movies or like a Will Ferrell movie where they outwardly say what the plot is or what they want because it's funny because that never happens.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If they were to take one of those movies and turn it into like an actual story, that's what this is.
Should this be called Not Another movie musical? Not another jukebox musical. So the reason I brought it up is you're talking about art, and the main character in that movie is going to the art school in Paris. Like that's when she goes to the airport at the end. On the board it says art school in Paris. Anyway, so she's in her class. Like she's angsty, right? She has glasses and a ponytail, so she's not attractive. That's the whole gimmick of the thing. So she's like lost her mom. She's got an alcoholic dad, and she's painting, like aggressively painting in her studio. She's covered with paint in her overalls, and she's like slashing at the thing. It's just like this dramatic, girl rock song playing and just thrashing at the thing. And then when they reveal the painting, it's literally a stick figure holding a puppy and a son. It's so funny. You really should see it. Unrelated to any of this. All right, so evidently the characters can't see these helpers, but anyway, Donna, unable to handle the memories, asks the three men to leave their island. Build a boat. Donna explains the three potential fathers are on the island and comments, it's like a hideous trick of fate. When some bystanders instantly laughed. Doesn't make any sense. Tanya and Rosie ponder the quiet bystanders, and Rosie mutters, it's very Greek.
I think it was an attempt to do a wink at the audience, and there's so few of them. It's hard to know if this is just. I think the movie might be having a stroke or what. Is
there a song called Greek Comedy?
Probably by someone.
Because it's. Anyway, it's just Tanya and Rosie look at the Greeks, then follow Donna into the house. Greek comedy. Huh. However, Donna's depression continues, so Tanya and Rosie remind her of her
Greek
free
listeners
spirit.
Out there, maybe they can
call in. I think it must be a song because it's in parentheses the way all these other ones. So Tanya and Rosie remind her of her free-spirited past, and they sing Dancing Queen, Dance Favorite.
Yeah, ladies, sleep around and have fun.
Donna rebounds while they're singing this. They all sing together and dance through the streets. They're joined by many
so
women.
Fun. They have so much fun. They use hairbrushes as microphones, all the things.
The many women and girls of the town come out. They're dancing down to the harbor. Pier.
Hold on. Again, I'm not even exaggerating. This may as well be the soundtrack.
By the way,
there's not enough autotune.
Former ABBA member Benny Anderson appears playing the piano in this scene. Easter eggs.
Remember the thing that you like? Remember?
Good for him.
Sophie visits the three men on Bill's boat and convinces them to stay for her wedding. After hearing all three men's stories and memories of Donna, our last summer.
Nope.
Sing that.
Next one is Super Trooper.
When
Donna
she
Summers?
hears, our last summer. When she hears Sky, she jumps into the sea and swims to him on the beach. There, Audrey's favorite scene.
This is the part
they discuss their meeting.
I had to practice acceptance. Just like, you know what? I can't stop the fact that this movie is here and that I'm watching it right now. It's just like I had to take a few deep breaths because I was starting to get angry.
Yes, they discuss their meeting and their love for each other. See if they say it enough.
Yes.
And they sing, "Lay all your love on me." But Sky is ambushed by his buddies for their bachelor party, which I think they call a stag party.
Stag do and hen do.
Stag do and a hen do. That evening, the three women at a hen party recreate their old 80s style musical duo, Donna and the Dynamos. It's a trio, technically. And they sing Super Trooper.
Here's the thing. They sing an ABBA song. So this is a world where this is a musical based on ABBA music, where ABBA music exists.
Yes. So Donna and the Dynamos, they explore this a lot in the sequel. Anyway, so they're entertaining the Bachelorette guests while singing this song as Donna and the Dynamos, which doesn't make any sense.
Wow, what a fun Bachelorette party.
Exactly. Oh, look, 3 7-year-old women are singing on stage. They're all
I
dressed
love
up.
you, Mom.
They should.
I'm
no,
so
I
glad
do believe
you're
that.
here.
I do believe that Amanda Seyfried loves her mom.
I
believe that. Then the three men come to the party, Bill and the other guys, and the crowd separates, singing and dancing, "Gimme, gimme, gimme."
And then they tie up
It is
the men.
officially... Yeah.
That's right.
It is officially crossed over into territory where this whole thing may as well just be a showcase. Because all we're doing is creating little vignettes of these songs. So, and especially, I don't want to spoil anything, but especially where the story goes, I just make it a showcase. The story ends up being like, pissing on your foot and telling you that it's raining.
I forget where are these guys.
That's a quote from
Sam
Judge
is
Judy.
Pierce Brosnan. Harry is Colin Firth. Bill is Stellan. Okay. Yeah. So Sophie talks to Bill, who's still in Skarsgård, and he realizes he could be her father. She asks him to give her away at the wedding. The masked guys from Sky's bachelor party invade the hen party in a wild dance. Voulez-vous?
Nope.
Okay.
Next one is SOS. And this movie is also like any sloppily arranged piece of writing. It is arranged in sections. This is the section where she talks to all three of the men.
That's right.
Which could have happened, sporadically. And we could have actually had some amount of stakes if she goes through a significant portion of the plot thinking that she's figured out who her dad is.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then she worries about how to talk to the other two. And then she finally starts talking to one of the other two. And whole new plot point. Now we have to do this.
Oh no,
It's
the
very safe to say
consequences
you
of
put-
my actions.
Right. It's very safe to say you've put more thought into it than the film writer.
Yes.
Okay. So they voulez-vous. In the commotion, the other two men also conclude that they could be the father, and separately each tells Sophie that he will be the one to give her away at the wedding.
Paternity tests don't exist in Greece.
That's right. No.
Yeah.
No,
and Jimmy,
remote.
just to make it clear.
We don't know when this movie's set, by the way. It could have been in the 70s.
It's just like Twin Peaks. Major spoiler.
What if Twin Peaks exists in the same world as Mamma Mia?
Just to make it clear, when you say that I put more thought into this than the writers did, it's just me watching the movie and going, why isn't it this? Why didn't this happen?
Yeah, I think I stand by my statement.
Did you think about it for 2 minutes? Then you've done it.
Yeah. You've done it. You
Right.
doubled the time. Surrounded by her mother, her fiance, and all three potential fathers, Sophie faints over her dilemma. What dilemma?
We feel bad for her because her plan isn't coming together, and she's the main character.
It's her wedding day.
But there was no plan to find out who the father was.
What do you mean? That was the whole plan the whole time.
Here's
But
another
how's
moment.
she going to find out?
This movie would be so much better if it's none of them, and Meryl Streep is like, actually, it was Immaculate Conception.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Whoa. You're Jesus. To avoid contention between the three men, Sophie instead asks Donna to give her away. Harry, feeling responsible for missing 20 years of Sophie's life, insists that Donna accept a very large monetary gift to cover the cost of the wedding and more.
I just want to make it clear to any listeners who might be confused. This is not Harry from Harry and the Hendersons.
No, this is Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. Okay.
While talking to Sam, Donna...
That would have been funnier. That would have been a better movie.
Yes,
and just as
indeed.
believable.
But yeah, so this is the first time that we see any ownership of any of this. Like, he all of a sudden character changes. Now he wants to be involved. And before this, all three men had the same level of interest in Donna.
Just like,
and now he steps
dopiness.
up. He's like, yeah, talking to Sam, Donna making more repairs, attempts to seal cracks in the central courtyard dolphin mosaic, which later explodes with rushing water. But the caulking nozzle splits, further thwarting her efforts of the day. Donna must rush to other preparations. Sam and Donna have tried to talk to each other, but each have concealed their feelings. No, Harry is the gay one who's going to pay for stuff. Sam is Pierce Brosnan. Sorry. But each have had concealed their feelings, love, and each laments their love separately in SOS.
I'm not joking, just as good as the movie.
It's just like tonally, it doesn't really fit, right? Like, if you're really lamenting love lost, are you going to be like, wee? How am I going to go on?
Yeah. I feel like at this point, this movie is kind of like a senior with a bunch of it's the second semester, the end of the second semester. They have a B in every class and a C in a couple. And they're just like, hey, who cares anymore?
Yeah, it's weirdly nihilistic.
There.
Yeah, right.
So
meanwhile,
matters. Why?
This little sidebar of this single or the thrice divorced rich lady who's trying to hit on this kid. Tanya rejects the playful advances of Pepper and some of Sky's other friends. Pepper.
His name's Pepper.
Oh boy.
Because he's never mind. Does your mother know is the song. Unnecessary plot point. But anyway, after confessing to Sky that she has invited all three...
What should we name this character?
Well, everybody looks like Salt except this one.
Jesus.
Right. Oh, God. His name is Pepper.
And the Greek lady's name is Olive.
That's right.
Right.
All of them.
Olive.
All of them.
Unrelated. If any of you out there have a pet and it's black fur and you have named it Shadow, all of your friends know. They talk about it to their other friends. I just feel like you should know.
Or Smokey.
Or Smokey.
Yeah.
Or a dog of any color named Toto. It's like
Cujo.
That's
After
fun.
confessing to Sky that she has invited all 3 potential fathers, Sky says that he's unsure of what he wants to do about the wedding. He's having second thoughts, guys. Sophie rushes up to Donna and asks her if she will help her prepare for the wedding, and she agrees. Whilst preparing, they both reminisce about the times before being engaged, slipping through my fingers. I'm sure you don't have that.
No. Next one I have is Winner Takes It All.
Donna, still unaware of Sam's true feelings and rushing to the hilltop wedding, tells Sam to stop talking to her. Winner takes it all. This is the scene that Audrey does not love.
During which she motions to him that he is the winner continuously.
That's right.
The song was actually kind of tender. And like, I think this song fit tonally.
Isn't this when she's on the boat? Like she's Jack and Rosing on the Titanic?
This is when she's singing awkwardly at James Bond
on the mountain.
On the mountain. And to both of their credit, they play off what would be an incredibly awkward situation as 2 actors just kind of trying to do their job well. But it is not staged well at all.
No,
Here's the song. Brace yourselves on this one.
Can I get another gin
We're going to need to
please?
listen.
Sorry, vodka
yes,
tonic.
One of our regulars is singing right now, and she doesn't like it when people
The
order
bathroom's out
drinks.
of paper towels.
Okay,
Just wanted
she's
to
gonna be singing.
let you know.
She needs people to pay very close attention.
Oh, wow.
Is your regular 6 years old?
She has a genetic condition. She's
I'm
actually
sorry.
64.
Oh, boy.
Okay, can we get separate checks?
By the way, I'm not the bartender. I thought that maybe I had a chance here.
Why are you standing behind the bar? Are you a bar back?
It's where the drinks. It's where the drinks are. I have a drinking problem.
Oh, well, okay. I mean, why am I paying you then? Gosh.
Oh my god. This is painful.
Okay.
All right, then Donna.
Nope. I'm not going to stop it. I mean, you can keep talking. I'm not going to stop the music.
Dan, please.
Would you rather?
Nope.
You can do a would you rather?
Would you rather watch this lady sing the song in like a bowling alley karaoke setting, or watch that scene?
Oh, this. I'd rather watch the
bowling alley
karaoke singer.
Yeah,
bowling alley, 100%.
Think
Because
of
I
the
can look at other
atmosphere.
stuff.
Yeah. Check my phone.
One of the places one of the many places that I used to, and I'm just filling time so I can keep playing this song. One of the many places that I used to do karaoke regularly was at a bowling alley. And
yes, I remember.
There was a group that they would always come together and they would sing these songs.
Right
They were just this weird. There was this weird energy to them. And then I found out that they were all swingers, and that part of their karaoke experience was getting the fishbowl, metaphorically. I think it was like a beer pitcher, and I was like, now it makes sense.
Wow.
Now I understand these people completely.
Yeah, you had your own little crew of karaokeists.
Yeah, we weren't swingers. There's nothing. I'm not trying to
there's no
kink
judgment.
shame anybody
No.
with the swinging. It's just statistically speaking, the people, and this is a quote from my friend Matt. Statistically speaking, people who are swingers generally are not aesthetically the people that you want to be
swing with. Yeah, that makes sense.
Hold on, it's almost over.
Then Donna runs to the hilltop and Sam is stunned. During the wedding ceremony, Donna finally mentions the father issue. Finally, this is the scene that should have started the movie.
Good timing.
She at the altar. Meryl Streep comes up, and and all the secrets begin unraveling. All 3 potential fathers publicly claim to be Sophie's father, and agree to happily take a third each after maybe 6 minutes of spending time with each other.
Yep. And then they get out a saw, and it turns into a totally different
they
movie.
take a third. I'll take the top. Sophie and Sky decide to postpone the wedding as Sky wanted all along and take a trip around the world.
Yep. Whole movie doesn't need to happen.
That's right. Now, it would have been a better movie if it started with this scene.
And then she takes a trip around the world, and then she's thrown into a ton of different settings by which we can have probably more creative and interesting ways to shoehorn ABBA songs.
Sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
So Sam then proposes to Donna, suddenly, I don't know, revealing that after falling for her 2 decades previously, he had to go back to England to break off the engagement that he had with someone else. But when he came back to Kolakari, you can see it in the sequel, one of her friends told her she was off with another man, which was Bill. He went home and got married anyway. Ugh. His heart was broken. But that was a mistake, and he's now divorced. He argues that if they marry right away, the wedding party is not wasted. Donna agrees to marry Sam. I do. It's
the best way to make life decisions.
I do. Sam and Donna celebrate with their newfound family and friends. When all is said and done, that's the song. At the wedding, Harry tells Donna she was the first and last woman he ever loved, inferring he is gay, and pointedly looks at a local lad. And then he hugs him later. During the after-wedding party, Rosie reveals she is strongly attracted to Bill, and she sings, "Take a Chance on Me." Is this the same lady?
This is from a high school production.
Of Mamma Mia?
Yeah. Which, again, if all we do is high school productions of this, and it's never a movie, it's still garbage, but it's in the right place. May as well be the movie.
So you have high schoolers playing middle-aged women and men?
Oh, and they play it up.
They walk out with stretcher, like walkers and stuff.
I'm old. So I went on a couple journeys with this. I was going to originally do nothing but High School Musical versions. And let me tell you, the rendition of Dancing Queen had a whole lot of geriatric humor.
I'm sure.
It was so great.
So he does not reciprocate at first, but eventually gives in. Fine. One issue remains to be resolved. There's resolution to be had. As the crowd dances in the courtyard, the central dolphin mosaic breaks open in a tremor, and tall spray rains over the party, and they all get wet by choice.
And then it gets a weirdly, like, orgy-like.
Yeah, they all get wet and dance around together.
It's the Fountain of Aphrodite. They said that early in the movie. Because they're like, Kalakari secretly has the Fountain of Youth or whatever.
Oh, is that it? That was it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's Chekhov's Fountain of Aphrodite.
Almost done. Donna concludes that it was Aphrodite. Oh yeah, look at this. Donna concludes it was Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, influencing events all along. The closing scene of the film shows Sophie and Sky sailing to the horizon to begin their life together, leaving Sam and Donna to live happily ever after on the island. And once again, we reprise I Have a Dream. After the closing scene, Donna and Dynamos perform Dancing Queen over the credits. Next, the entire cast sings Waterloo.
That could be the whole movie.
Sure. Finally,
that
Sophie
sings
whole
movie.
Thank you for the music as the ending credits roll. This film was nominated for lots of things.
Oh my God. Tell me.
Namely, well, I only have 3.
Oh.
The Golden Globe Awards nominated the movie as Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy.
What a joke.
Nominated Meryl Streep for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Comedy or Musical. Here's one of the winners. The Golden Raspberry Awards awarded Pierce Brosnan as Best Supporting Actor.
All right.
I bet he showed up for that, too.
The Razzies are the freaking best. Love you.
Yeah. Anyway, that was it. That's all I copied that. But I will tell you, while we're watching this movie, we're going to get wasted by drinking Mamma Mia pizza beer.
Ew.
This is a real thing.
If it's beer that tastes like pizza, then it is a perfect fit for this movie. Okay,
exactly.
Yep, there it is.
The Pizza Beer Company. It's the name of the brewery.
Why?
It's in Illinois. It's an herb and spice beer. Here's how they make it. Pizza beer is a debris-free product. The margarita pizza is put into a mash and steamed like a tea bag. A whole wheat crust made with water, flour, and yeast is topped with tomato, oregano, basil, and garlic. The essence of the pizza spices is washed off with hot water and filtered into a brew pot, where it is boiled for a long, long time. During the process, we add hops and spices in a cheesecloth type bag and filter the cooled liquid into a fermenter vessel. After a week or two, the beer is good to go. Keg or bottle.
Well,
God.
I mean, as good as it's going to get is, I think, what they mean. Oh,
Mamma Mia pizza beer.
That's the worst beer you've ever told us about.
Yeah, but it's perfect for this movie.
Yeah.
Here's a
It's
review.
the essence of something and fermented.
Okay, I'm rating this as a novelty beer and a novelty beer only. It smells like pizza, tastes like pizza. Unfortunately, doesn't look like pizza though. It's oh God, could you imagine?
Can you imagine?
Is it a beer I'm going to go out and buy all the time? Probably not. Did they hit the nail on the head with the beer that tastes like pizza? Absolutely.
Nailed it.
Just eat pizza while you're drinking beer, and you'll get the same feeling.
Or eat pizza and pour some beer on top of it while you're eating.
I need this. I need to find it.
Can you buy it?
I'm gonna. This could turn into my white whale in terms of. 'Cause that sounds awful. And I mean, anyone who's been to a buffet with me knows that I go immediately to the most terrifying thing. I need to try it. I need this. Listeners, if any of you know where we can find Mamma Mia pizza beer, Colin, it's 856 our ears. Oh, by the way,
looking at this
we didn't have a
article.
proper commercial break, so if I shoehorned one in, I apologize. Let's just say that it's thematically it fits
Dan.
how this movie works.
Dan, I have some bad news.
What?
Is it discontinued?
Punch Drunk. Here's the article headline. The Rise and Fall of Mamma Mia Pizza Beer.
No, gone too soon.
Maybe on eBay?
2018.
Collector's item?
Can you imagine 5-year-old pizza beer?
I am right now, and it sounds wonderful.
Ew.
Mamma Mia Pizza Beer Company.
I mean, it can't get worse. But I mean,
They're
it's
in
still going to be.
It's a microbrewery.
St. Charles? Where's that?
Oh, I'm looking at it. It's like I think it's a metro of Chicago.
Of course,
historical check-in from Beer Advocate.
I know what they're
I
doing.
don't think it's there anymore.
I don't think you guys are hungry after
it's like
that.
lasagna.
After eating our pizza beer?
After eating your pizza beer, how do we go? Where do we go from there? Let me tell you a little story. I worked for a while doing wedding hair and makeup teeth design. Throwback.
Thank you.
So I have some. I can't believe how unstressed Sophie was 2 days before her wedding, because most brides would just be losing their at that point. But story. I used to watch the show called Four Weddings, which is like a TLC program. We watched it.
You got to remember, she read the script, Audrey, so she knew she wasn't actually getting married.
Oh, okay. Right.
It's true.
So,
she is the main character, after all.
My coworkers, when I worked in an office, we'd watch the show during our lunch break. And Four Weddings is like from the Oddies. And basically, it's a reality TV show where four brides go to each other's weddings and then rate the weddings on how cool they were. And there were like some really hilarious wedding trends going on. One of them being the mashed potato bar, which is like you give your guest a martini glass and then they get a scoop of mashed potatoes and then they can top it with whatever they want, like bacon bits, cheese, green onion, gravy. So we're going to do a spanakopita bar. So you get a wine glass and then you get a scoop of spinach and then you can add whatever Greek toppings you want to it. Or you could, you just get a plate of moussaka, which is Greek.
It's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah. So there's my story.
You're gonna start a trend.
The weddings that scored the highest were the ones usually with the biggest budgets. So
of course.
Yeah. If you're poor, your wedding's going to suck.
That. Yeah. Sorry. So what are we going to listen to, Dan? Just more ABBA?
No, I thought about that. There's an album. I went more with the idea that this should be a Bollywood musical or a an American musical made in the style of a Bollywood movie. Which, by the way, if you have not seen one, watch them. They are fun.
RRR is so good. I
still need to watch that one.
Very long, but amazing.
It looks like they're superheroes basically, but then there's everyone's basically a superhero in a Bollywood movie. And it's so all of the issues with this movie could be solved by having it be like, whatever, it's Bollywood. Look at how many dancers we have. Of course
they didn't commit enough. Bollywood commits 100% to what they're doing.
100%. And like the
dial up.
Yeah, and the colors are super vibrant, and sometimes it's all glossy and weird. So I went in that direction, and first of all, here's a song that's fairly current from a Bollywood song, just in case, from a Bollywood musical, just in case you're listening to this and go, that means I'm going to have to listen to weird Indian music. I don't know. Clack, clack. Here's this is... by the way, if you are that listener, please communicate with us. I want to know what your inner world is like. This is War. It's from War. I don't know. This was kind of a last minute thing for me. I was just like, oh, I need to get this in because I have another thing. I'm including this just to show that like there is a modern like pop sensibility to these things. They're almost all subtitled. Like if you like this kind of over the top stuff, there's no reason for an American audience to not at least try it because it's fun. So, okay. Speaking of that, this is Dan the Automator, who is a DJ. It's not me, by the way. No. Put out an album a while ago called Bombay the Hard Way, where he took a bunch of songs from old like 70s Bollywood crime dramas and he remixed them, and this is a song from that album called Punjabis, Pimps and Players. And I didn't want to do just this because I didn't want to be like Indian music. So here we go. By the way, shout out to listener Winslow for introducing me to this album.
Hey Winslow.
Hey, Winsy.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah, right?
Did Dan the Automator work with Deltron?
Most likely. He's one of those people that just, like, albums fall out of him. One of my favorite things of his is Lovage that he did with, what's his face from Faith No More? The fake band is called Lovage, and the album is called Music to Make Love to Your Old Lady By.
I love it.
Yeah. Just looking up our next feature. Straight to video Disney sequel. I think we announced it last time, but it's official. This time it's going to be Leroy and Stitch.
Another winner. 2, wow.
Fox and the Hound 2, Cinderella 3. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. And then Disney Princess's Enchanted Tales, Follow Your Dreams. Does that count?
No.
It's all the princesses.
It doesn't.
Little Mermaid Ariel's beginning, and then the Tinkerverse. Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure, Tinkerbell and the Gray Fairy Rescue, Princess.
Which we're gonna watch all of them in one sitting.
What if we started a live show?
The Pirate Fairy,
Tinkerverse, the live show.
Yeah, that'll be the grand finale of season 1 of Scraping the Vault.
Yeah. Then we do the live action.
Scraping the Vault universe.
Season finale. Yeah, we did talk about getting together and just watching them all.
I think that'd be awesome.
Because you figure they're probably about an hour each.
Can we go to Georgia? I've never been to Georgia. It seems fun.
Bring it.
We'll get some bourbon.
Fun.
I mean, it will be.
Do they have bourbon in Georgia?
3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 hours. We can handle that.
Well, I mean,
they do have bourbon in Georgia.
Time wise, but I think mentally, regardless, it's the cracks are gonna start showing real quick.
It's gonna be fun. A 6-hour episode where we live commentary on the movies and get progressively more drunk.
Oh my God. Drink every time
That'd be
something
fun.
happens.
Every time a bell wings. Anyway, good job, guys. Thank you. Sarah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Sarah.
And I'm sorry.
I don't want to sound ungrateful. It was a movie that we watched thanks to you.
Some other movies that you might want to add, if anyone has over, 12,000
that's right.
followers. Other movies you might want to suggest to us: Solo,
a Star
Serbian
Wars story
film.
I haven't seen that. Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh yeah, what's Hostel?
Hostel 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen. Love Shack. You can go to Athens, see where these guys started.
Jimmy, why have we've got all this time where I play something under you talking us out. And the past 2 episodes, if I played it and you stop, like, what's happening?
Oh, I thought you were playing a song and I was I was stopped talking so you could play the song. All right, try again.
Okay. All right, here we go.
We're doing the outro.
Thank you so much for listening, everybody. We didn't talk about concierges, 856R ears.
Tell us.
I've befriended some of the concierges and we have a lot of fun, little group chat. They're very nice people. Like-minded Disney nerds. It's fun. On the Supreme Resort, we just interviewed Lindsay, who is a Disney World expert. She went to Disneyland for the first time. It's kind of a fun perspective. Good episode. So listen to that. Ears Up in Depth. Phantom Milk. Puny Pod. They're going through
Jimmy, I thought of a versus name for you just now for that episode.
What's that?
Disney World expert versus Disneyland.
Ooh, I can change it.
Yeah.
It's still got to be the case of something.
Right, the case of the
Disney World expert versus Disneyland.
Yeah, there you go.
Or VE Disneyland.
Yeah.
Thank you for the hand gestures, Audrey. She's doing a hand dance. Anyway, until next time, Dan is also doing a double fisting. All right.
Saltine
thanks for listening,
crackers.
everybody. Be good to each other. Eat some saltines. And until next time,
be kind.
And rewind.
By the way, listener, if you haven't figured this out before, Be Kind Rewind, Dan is rewinding the intro. That's what that is every time.
Yeah.
I think we've addressed that before.
I don't come to this podcast to think. Okay, I come to this podcast.
That's a good idea.
By the way, just generally, if there's anything about this show that you're like, do they know that it's tedious? Yeah, yes.
Yeah, and by the way, don't listen to the show.
That is.
Bye.
Hold on. Let's go ahead and just let's do the Easter egg right now.
Let's rip the Band-Aid.
Hola, mi gente.
Oh, you sound like Asher.
Thank you.
If you've ever wanted to communicate with your fellow real and cool friends at Mountain View Elementary School.
But he's got to say, I'm real and cool in Spanish.
Soy real y legal.
Oh, it's going to be so beautiful.
But he's going to read it as real.
Well, and the way that Asher exists which he does,
he's very cool and very
is gonna make for some very interesting pronunciation.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm so excited about.
Muy
That's what I want. Why aren't we doing this already?
In fact, Asher might have a Spanish-speaking friend.
Oh.
El Ashero.
Ashero.
Oh my god.
Asherito.
Well, since this would come from nowhere as an Easter egg, let's just go ahead and run the ad for Asher speaking Spanish.
Yes.
Asher's real and cool Spanish class
Yes.
right now.
Yay.
Thanks for listening.
Love it.
Oh, God. I have to edit a lot of that out.
Hello. What's up? My name is Asher. I'm a cool kid who is real just like you. Welcome to lesson number 1 of Asher teaches you how to shred the nards of Spanish. Or, as they say in Espanol, Asher te enseña a tritura los nardos del Español. I'm gonna teach you all the important stuff to say to impress people when you go to the local El Torito. That means the tortilla, by the way. Let's get started. My homework is on the boat. Mi tarea está en el barco. Do you like to go to the library? ¿Te gusta ir a la biblioteca? Where is the library? ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Do they have Bibles in the library? ¿Tienen Biblias en la biblioteca? The library is for nerds. La biblioteca es para el nerdos. I am not a nerd. No soy un el nerdo. CJ is a nerd. CJ es un el nerdo. Yesterday I convinced CJ to do angel dust before taking a boat to the library. Ayer convencí a CJ para que hiciera polvo de ángel antes de tomar un boat a la biblioteca. Purple stuff is rad. Yo soy purple stuff. Name in Spanish sounds like number. El nombre es español suena como número. My grandmother is at the library with her boat. Mi abuela está en la biblioteca con su boat. This is a beach. Esta es una playa. My beach has a library and a boat. Mi playa tiene una biblioteca y un boat. Great work, everyone. This has been Asher te enseña tritura los nardos del Español. I don't know if we're going to make this a regular feature or not, but it sure was fun for me. Smell you later, hombres.